Today I'm cooking the Thai version of oxtail soup or tom som hang vua. It's rich and very fatty with just the right amount of sourness and spiciness to cut through the oiliness, bringing out intense flavor of the herbs. The meat is smooth, soft and almost melt in the mouth while keeping its shape. So delicious and appetizing. It's a treat for the family. This recipe is for 6 to 8 servings. First, wash 1 kilogram of oxtail with a handful of salt. Although it looks like a lot of salt, very little will actually stick to the meat. Rub the salt on the oxtail all over. This helps to clean and reduce the gamey smell from the oxtail. I recommend using gloves for this step as the oxtail has a lot of fat and it's oily. It's hard to wash off and the smell can get stuck to your hands. Rinse with water for about 3 times. After rinsing off the water for the 3rd time, most of the blood has been washed off. Blanch the oxtail in a pot with 3 to 4 pieces of kaffir lime leaves, 20 grams of sliced ginger, and enough water to submerge the oxtail. This masks the strong smell of the meat with the fragrance of the herbs, while keeping the oxtail soup clear. If you are stewing oxtail in a thick gravy, this step is not needed. Cover the pot with the lid and let it braise over medium heat for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the oxtail has changed color and there is a lot of scum floating on the water. Remove each piece of the oxtail on a separate place and set them aside. Now, let's prepare the herbs. Lightly smash 2 stalks of lemongrass or about 70 grams in a mortar until just broken but not too much to better release the fragrance and taste. Then cut the stem of 4 grams or 5 pieces of kaffir lime leaves while cutting each piece into 4 parts. Slice 30 grams of mixed red and green bird eye chili into half for spiciness. Cut 50 grams of peeled garlic into half onto smaller chunks. And set them aside. Repeat with cutting 80 grams of peeled shallots. Set them aside. Now we can add them all into a pressure cooker. Open the lid and add the blanched oxtail pieces into the pot, spreading them evenly. Followed by the smashed lemongrass, half of the kaffir lime leaves, 13 grams or 4 pieces of cilantro roots, half of 50 grams of thinly sliced young galangal or 30 grams if using old galangal. 20 grams of spring onions, only the white stem. Half of the cut garlic. Half of the cut shallots. Half of the cut chilies. Half tablespoon of salt. 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. And 1.3 liters of water or until just covering the oxtail pieces. Close the lid and seal the pressure valve. There are 2 options here, release and seal. Ensure that the valve points turn to seal before cooking. Switch on the pressure cooker and select the tender or stew function, or about 35 minutes. Meanwhile, heat 20 ml of cooking oil in a saucepan. Once it is hot, add 10 grams of dry red chili and fry for about 15 minutes or until light brown and plump. Switch off the heat. Allow the heat from the oil to continue cooking the chili for a bit. Remove them from the saucepan shaking to remove excess oil, and set it aside in a small bowl. Once the pressure cooker is done, carefully release the valve and wait until the pressure steam is completely released. Turn off the switch. Open the lid. Wow, it smells so good. Let's check the oxtail tenderness by poking it with a fork. The oxtail is thoroughly cooked and soft, as the fork can easily go through the meat. However, I want it to be more tender than this, so I will continue cook it for about 15 more minutes. Close the lid and press chicken, which cook the oxtail for another 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, carefully release the pressure valve and open the lid. It smells amazing now. Let's check with a fork again. Look at that. The meat breaks apart easily with the fork. It is so soft and tender. We still have another vegetables and herbs to add to the soup. So let's transfer all the oxtail, the cooked herbs, and the soup into a large pan or a wok. Switch on the heat to medium. Spread the pieces around evenly. Before adding the rest of the cut garlic, cut shallots, or the sliced young galangal, 1/4 of kaffir lime leaves, 150 grams of tomatoes cut into wedges, 1 tablespoon of fish sauce, half tablespoon of salt, 1/2 tablespoon of sugar, the crispy fried chili, and the rest of the bird-eye chili. Stir to spread all the herbs evenly. Cover with the lid and let it boil for another 8 minutes, just to cook the raw vegetable and the herbs together. Although we can add those ingredients to the pressure cooker just after cooking, as the soup is extremely hot, it is better and safer to boil all of them together in a pan. After 8 minutes, the oxtail soup is almost ready. Scoop out the excess oil floating on the soup if preferred. Give it a taste and adjust if needed. I am adding 1 tablespoon of fish sauce and 1 teaspoon of salt and stirring to mix. Switch off the heat. Add 20 grams of chopped spring onions, the green part, the rest of the kaffir lime leaves, 20 grams of chopped parsley, and 12 grams of chopped cilantro leaves. Next, squeeze about 3 whole limes or add about 5 tablespoons of lime juice to the oxtail soup for a fresh citrusy flavor. Stir to mix and allow green vegetable to soften by the residual heat from the soup. Oh wow, it looks so good. Give it a final taste. It's perfect. The soup is rich, slightly salty and spicy, with a lot of umami, all perfectly balanced. Let's dish it out and serve. Garnish with a bit of spring onion and parsley. Optionally, squeeze the juice from a piece of lime for extra sourness, and it's ready to enjoy with some rice. Let's eat. So good. The meat is smooth, tender, and so soft. The soup has the complex herbal citrusy aroma that cuts through the fattiness and richness of the oxtail soup, making it perfect to enjoy even in hot weather. Delicious. This is Home Cooking with Somjit. Thank you and bye-bye.